Imagine running a race you're not supposed to be running, finishing 7th, and somehow becoming the most talked about athlete in the entire sport overnight. That's exactly what happened to Keely Hodgkinson in Rome. And the reason why has the athletics world holding its breath for what could be one of the greatest moments in track and field history. She didn't win. She didn't even finish in the top 5. But the number on the clock when she crossed that finish line sent a shiver down the spine of everyone who understood what it meant. Because Keely Hodgkinson, the reigning Olympic 800-meter champion, is building towards something that hasn't been done in almost 43 years, and Rome was her opening move. On Thursday, the 4th of June, 2026, the Diamond League athletics meet came alive at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome. This is one of the crown jewels of the track and field calendar, the kind of event where only the best in the world show up and the races are almost always fast. On this particular evening, Keely Hodgkinson decided to do something completely unexpected. Instead of lining up in her usual 800 meters, she stepped into the women's 400-meter race. It was her very first Diamond League appearance over that distance, and from the moment the gun fired, the watching world knew something significant was unfolding. She crossed the line in 7th place with a time of 51.14 seconds. That's her personal best over 400 meters, the fastest she has ever run the one-lap event in her entire career. Earlier this year, she had clocked 51.49 indoors in Glasgow, and here in the warm Roman night, she sliced about a third of a second off that mark. For the uninitiated, a third of a second might not sound like much. But in sprinting, where the difference between champions and also-rans can be measured in hundredths, shaving 0.35 seconds from your personal best in one single race is enormous. It tells you that the athlete is moving in exactly the right direction and moving fast. But why is the Olympic 800-meter champion running 400-meter races at all? This is where the story becomes genuinely thrilling. Keely has set herself a target for this summer that most athletes wouldn't dare whisper out loud. She wants to break the women's outdoor 800-meter world record, a record that has stood since July 26, 1983, when Czechoslovakian runner Jarmila Kratochvilova ran 1 minute 53.28 seconds in Munich. That record is older than most of the athletes racing against Keely today. It has survived every champion, every technological advancement, every generation of supremely talented middle-distance runners the world has produced for nearly half a century. And Keely Hodgkinson believes she can finally bring it down. She has chosen July 18th at the London Diamond League as the date she intends to make history. To understand why she's running 400 meters in preparation for an 800-meter world record attempt, you need to think about what actually happens during an 800-meter race. The 800 is not a pure endurance event, and it's not a pure sprint either. It's a brutal combination of both, 2 laps of raw speed and absolute pain. The first lap is almost always run fast, uncomfortably fast. And the athletes who are capable of running that opening 400 meters quickly while still having enough left in the tank to hang on through the second lap are the ones who break records. If Keely can sharpen her raw speed over the shorter distance, she'll be able to hit that first lap at a pace that makes a world record possible and then use the endurance she has been building all her career to see it through. Before the race in Rome, Keely spoke candidly about her reasoning. She told The Athletic that she has always considered herself the kind of athlete who can compete across both the 400 and the 800, but that she hasn't yet shown everything she's capable of over the shorter distance. She said she got a glimpse of that potential during her indoor season and is still very much learning how to race the event properly. That's a remarkable thing for a world champion to say, that she's still learning, still discovering, still growing. It speaks to the hunger that has made her the most exciting middle-distance runner on the planet right now. And she really is on fire coming into this outdoor season. Earlier this year, Keely won the world indoor title in a world record-breaking time. She arrived at the Rome Diamond League not as someone trying to find form, but as someone already in the shape of her life, using this 400-meter race as a precision tool to sharpen one specific weapon before the main event in July. The race itself was extraordinary. The winner was Henriette Jaeger of Norway, who ran a stunning 49.6 seconds in her very first race of the year. Let that sink in for a moment. She opened her entire outdoor season by running 49.6 seconds over 400 meters, finishing just 0.11 seconds away from her own personal best. She looked sharp from the first stride, held her form beautifully all the way down the home straight, and crossed the finish line like someone who had been racing at this level for months rather than making her seasonal debut. After the race, Jaeger spoke to the Diamond League and described her formula simply: staying focused, being patient, finding motivation, and sticking to her plan. It sounds almost too simple for a performance that fast, but simplicity and clarity of purpose are often exactly what separate champions from contenders. Behind Jaeger, the race was a showcase of global sprinting excellence. Lada Vondrova of Czechia finished second in 49.77 seconds. Nikki Shaw-Price from Jamaica claimed third in 49.80. And Aaliyah Butler of the United States crossed in fourth with 49.83 seconds. For women, all breaking 50 seconds in the same race, in the same stadium, on the same warm June evening. That is an exceptional field, and for Keely Hodgkinson, who is still genuinely learning how to compete over this distance, finishing seventh in a race of that quality while running a personal best is not a disappointment. It's a statement. She went toe-to-toe with the best 400-meter runners on Earth and came out faster than she's ever been. The experience of racing against women of that caliber, of feeling that pace and learning to manage it, is precisely what will make her better when she lines up for that 800-meter world record attempt next month. There was also another British athlete in the 400-meter race worth noting: Amber Anning, who won the 400-meter world indoor title in 2025, finished fifth in 50.19 seconds. Amber edged Keely in this race, which makes complete sense given that the 400 is Amber's primary event, and she has been honing her craft over this distance for years. But the two of them both competing at the very highest level on the same evening, in the same race, speaks volumes about the depth and quality of British women's sprinting right now. The rest of the evening in Rome was almost equally spectacular, and particularly so for British athletics. Molly Cottery, the two-time world indoor champion in the pole vault, delivered one of the performances of the night. She cleared 4.90 meters to win the pole vault competition, and she did it from a shortened 10-step approach. The approach run is everything in pole vaulting. It's the runway that generates the speed and momentum that carry an athlete up and over the bar. Cottery achieved her personal best from a shorter approach than usual, which means she had less distance to build up that momentum. Setting a personal best under those constraints is not just impressive, it's the kind of performance that signals a vaulter who is technically and physically reaching a new level entirely. Georgia Hunter-Bell added another British win to the evening's tally with a victory in the women's 1,500 meters. She crossed the line in 3 minutes and 58.63 seconds, breaking the 4-minute barrier with room to spare. Running a sub-4 1,500 is one of those benchmarks that marks you out as genuinely elite, and Hunter-Bell did it in her first race of the outdoor season. She was honest afterwards about how strange the first race of the year always feels. You've been training hard for months, you believe you're in good shape, but you don't truly know where you stand until you're actually out there competing against other runners. She mentioned that her opening time this year was already a significant improvement on the equivalent race from 2025, which was itself better than 2024. Year by year, race by race, she is improving in a way that suggests her ceiling has not yet been reached. The action wasn't confined to the British athletes either. In the women's 200 meters, Olympic champion Julian Alfred claimed victory. Amy Hunt, the British sprinter who won silver at the 2025 World Championships, came home fourth in 22.52 seconds. Right behind her in fifth was Dina Asher-Smith, who clocked 22.76 seconds. Two British sprinters finishing inside the top 5 of a Diamond League 200 meters is a very strong result and hints at more fireworks to come later in the season. Over in the men's 100 meters, Olympic champion Noah Lyles took the race in 9.88 seconds, with Emmanuel Isim of Cameroon finishing second and Letzel Tabogo of Botswana in third. British sprinter Jeremiah Azu finished ninth. Step back and look at the full picture of that Roman evening, and it is a genuinely remarkable night for British athletics. A personal best from Keely Hodgkinson in a completely new race at Diamond League level. A personal best and outright victory for Molly Cottery in the pole vault from a shortened approach. A season-opening win for Georgia Hunter-Bell in the 1,500 meters. Two British sprinters inside the top 5 of the 200 meters. It's the kind of collective performance that makes you feel like something bigger is building, like the whole group is peaking together toward a summer that could be remembered for a long time. But more than any individual performance, more than any personal best or race win, the story of Rome is really the story of what comes next. Every race Keely Hodgkinson runs between now and July 18th is a piece of a carefully constructed puzzle. The 400 meters in Rome was not an experiment or a distraction or a curiosity. It was a deliberate, intelligent step in the preparation of an athlete who knows exactly what she is doing and exactly where she is going. She wants to be sharper, faster, more explosive over that first lap when she lines up to chase Kratochvilova's record in London. And the evidence from Rome suggests she is getting exactly that. Almost 43 years. That's how long that 800-meter world record has stood. It has outlasted empires, outlasted eras of athletics, outlasted generations of women who were certain they could break it. But on the night of July 18th, 2026, at the London Diamond League, Keely Hodgkinson is going to try. And after what the world saw in Rome, it would be a brave person who bets against her.